What's up YouTube? It's Ben, and in this video, let's talk about recruiting and how a recession affects our market. All right, so the first question we want to be asking ourselves is, are you in Recruiter Empire, our Facebook group? Link in description of this video. I promise if you're not there, you're missing out on a ton of recruiting content, resources, and recruiters. There's 12,000 of them in the group already. Seriously, pause the video, join the group, you will not regret it. Okay, so the actual question is recruiting recession proof? The answer is yes, but it's complicated. So allow me to elaborate, and please stick with me to the end because I really think this will help you out a lot. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is that recessions aren't real. They're completely man-made, and they can be corrected at any given time. Recessions happen for various reasons. Generally, the government prints way too much money, inflation happens, the news tells you that everything's super expensive, so don't buy anything, so merchants actually increase prices, make things expensive, and everything just spirals out of control, and all of a sudden we're in this crazy recession. Now, recruiting is one of those markets that goes up, down, and sideways, just like the Forex market, the foreign currency trading market. Therefore, markets like recruiting make it super simple for you to make money, whether the country is in a recession or in a downturn, sideways, or thriving. It really doesn't matter. Here's exactly why it doesn't matter. Because in recruiting, we're not exactly in a box selling widgets. Like, we're not a brick and mortar. We are a highly dynamic, service-based business that can pivot in many directions. And for that reason alone, recessions do not affect recruitment and the way that we operate. Therefore, we can still make money if the country is in a so-called recession or economic downturn, however you want to put it. We also have one of the most addressable markets in the world, basically the entire industrial complex of America, or the globe, if you want to go globally. Now, when you understand that, you will understand this. Pivoting towards an industry or another niche that you're not in currently, but is going to make you money and that is still hiring and is still thriving, is exactly how you can still make money and stay afloat in recruiting. Yes, of course, some industries, some companies are going to shutter their doors, or maybe they'll slow their hiring or pause their hiring, but that's not every industry or every niche or every company. You've got to understand the holistic perspective here, right? When we talk about recessions or economic downturns, we're not talking about like apocalypse scenarios here. We're not talking about the end of the world. We're just talking about an economic downturn. So, for example, industries like construction are evergreen industries because when the economy goes down, right, or the news says it does, they're either already doing projects or they're already ramping up projects, because when the economy's in a so-called tailspin, they want to get in and start building when things are cheap, right? They want to build out and they want to put things in play so that when the economy apparently ramps up, or the news tells you it ramps up, that industry is already booming. So right then and there, you have an industry, you have a niche, construction being just one of many that is evergreen and always going to be hiring. Another example of this would be manufacturing, all right? So in case you didn't notice, during the pandemic, it was practically impossible to find any type of electronics, like a laptop or an iPad or anything. Literally, shelves were bare. You couldn't find anything. Why? Because there was so much demand by consumers for those items that it was absurd. No manufacturer could actually keep up with that demand. This all just goes to show you that regardless of an economic downturn or a tailspin or a so-called recession, consumers and enterprise clients still have massive demand for things that need to be manufactured, right? Whether it be solar panels or furniture or electronics aside, all of it still has demand. And those industries, those niches, those manufacturing facilities are of course still hiring. Simply put, if you were like formerly placing in hospitality and all of a sudden the economy went haywire, right? Nobody's going out anymore. Nobody's spending money going out, having drinks, getting dinner and all that kind of stuff because hospitality just went out the door, right? Okay, pivot right into manufacturing, pivot right into construction, pivot into something that's still paying, right? All you have to do is maneuver, right? Be smart about it, understand what's not paying and what is. This literally applies to anyone, anywhere, almost in any niche that you're recruiting in, if you pivot properly. So with that being said, you're never actually stuck. And this is where I think a lot of people get caught up because they think they are stuck in a box. You're never stuck unless you prison yourself in your mind and basically just say, well, business is going to be terrible this year because we're in a total tailspin and Fox News tells me that everything's going bad and I'm not going to be able to recruit. It's going to suck, right? That's all your choice. I have personally had some of my best years ever in recruitment, making placements, probably above and beyond, right? Anything I've done previously in prior years during so-called economic downturns or so-called recessions, anything like that, right? So I can have that. You can absolutely have that. You see, it's really all about making the right pivots at the right time, okay? It's not talking about timing the market here. We're talking about making educated pivots, educated decisions on what movement you're going to make towards what niche, towards what industry, towards what types of roles that you know are hiring and that you know you can make placements in, you know you can make money in. If you play your cards right, you will find that recruiting is, in fact, recession-proof. And hey, if you think otherwise, or if you've experienced otherwise, please drop me a comment down below because I would love to hear about your story and how your recruiting or staffing business was affected by any economic factors in any year whatsoever. I'd love to hear about that. So drop a comment down below so I can hear about how any recession or tailspin in the economy has affected you. Otherwise, go ahead and give a good smash on that like button for this video. Subscribe if you're not already. Join Recruiter Empire, link in description of this video, and I will see you guys next time.